Hey everybody, Tyson's Honor here again today, and in this video I'm going to give you 2 tips that can really help you inside of your network marketing business. The first tip is going to be one of the best tips I can give you to help you close more sales, and the second tip is going to be about duplication. Probably the #1 thing you can do to get your team to duplicate, all right? And these 2 tips that I'm going to share with you actually come, I won't say they come from my children, but they come from interactions with my kids. We went on a little miniature vacation this past weekend out to Hilton Head Island in South Carolina, and while we were there, the more I interact with my kids, the more I realize that building a network marketing business, or really any type of sales at all, is really a lot like interacting with your children. And for those of you who are parents out there, I think you're going to really relate to some of the stories I'm going to tell you in today's video. And the more you start thinking about interacting with your prospects the way that you would interact with your kids, and instead of convincing people to do things, motivating them to do those things, if that makes sense, and how you would go about motivating them as opposed to convincing them, I think you're going to find that you're going to find a lot more success in your business. So let me tell you 2 stories. The first one happened one morning at breakfast while we were at the resort. We were getting ready to leave. We were going to go to Sea Pines Plantations for the day, and they've got a lot of activities, a petting zoo and pirate adventure out there, and playground and all kinds of fun stuff. And really cool place, by the way. If you've never been, you should go to Hilton Head Island, check out Sea Pines Plantation. But anyway, we were eating breakfast, and my son was, doing what 7-year-old boys do. He was piddling and messing around and not eating his breakfast, and we had to keep saying, "Son, eat your breakfast, eat your pancakes, eat your breakfast," whatever. And he kept piddling. Now, I needed to motivate my son to eat his breakfast, okay? I could try to convince him to eat his breakfast, or I could motivate him to eat his breakfast. Look at the difference here, right? What are most people doing? They're trying to convince their prospects that their network marketing opportunity is a great thing. So if I wanted to convince him, my son, I could have said, "Hey, those pancakes have X number of calories a piece in them, and they have X number of carbohydrates that are going to give you all the energy you need today to go out and whatever," right? I could have tried to focus on the vehicle in front of us and all the features of that vehicle. That's what most people are doing in their network marketing business. They're focusing on the features of the vehicle, saying, "Hey, look at our compensation plan and how it's got 2 legs, and we've been in business X number of years, and here's how big our warehouse is, and here's all the credentials of our leaders." And yeah, those things can help people to make a decision, but it's not the ultimate reason they are motivated to join. What's the ultimate reason that my son was finally motivated to eat his breakfast? It was because I didn't focus on the vehicle or the plate of food in front of him. I focused instead on the destination of what he would get if he ate his breakfast. I said, "Hey, the sooner you eat your breakfast, the sooner we can leave and we can go over to the playground and we can do the petting zoo and we can go to the lighthouse and the pirate adventure and all those other cool things." And then he was motivated to eat his breakfast, and it was his decision because I focused on the destination and not on the vehicle. You need to do the same thing with your prospects, and there's no way you can focus on the destination your prospect wants to get to unless you ask questions and you have meaningful conversations so that you can learn what your prospects' fears and pains are, and what their current pains are, and what their future desires are. Where do they want to get to? Put yourself more in the consultant role with your prospects than the salesman role, and you're going to see a lot more success, okay? That's the first tip. Now, this second tip is going to help you with duplication, right? I get people that ask all the time, "Well, how do I get my teammates to duplicate? How do I motivate the unmotivated?" Well, the answer is you don't really motivate. There's nothing you can say to motivate somebody who is unmotivated. It has to be their decision to build this business. The only thing you can really do is keep them around the campfire, let them know you love them, let them know you care about them, let them know you're there for them when you want them, when they need you, but you're not there to push them or to harp on them or guilt them into doing things. That's never ever going to work, especially long term. And so here's another little story that happened. When we got to Sea Pines Plantation later that day, my son was playing on the playground, and he slid down a pole or something, and he burned got like a friction burn on his finger, and he was hurting and he was in pain, and he got real mad. He said, "I just want to go back to the resort and sit in the room. I don't want to do anything else today." He was really mad, and I could have tried to convince him, "Oh, it'll go away, and just calm down, and oh, you'll have more fun if you just give it 5 minutes." I could have tried to convince him, or I could motivate him to do the things I wanted him to do, which was to stick around and go do the other activities. So we said, hey, well, listen, of course your finger's gonna hurt if you go back to the room. So here's what we're gonna do, son. We're just gonna drive around a little bit. You don't have to do anything. He said, well, I'm not doing anything. We said, okay, that's fine. We're gonna go over to the petting zoo at Lawton Stables, and we're gonna pet the animals. Well, I'm not doing anything. I'm not petting them. We said, oh, you don't have to. Now, I could have tried to convince him, oh, yes, you are. You're gonna get out and you're gonna pet those animals and you're gonna have fun. I could have tried to do that, or I could have said, hey, that's fine. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, which is exactly what we did say. And then when we got to Lawton Stables, you know what motivated him to get out and actually pet the animals? It was seeing me and his sister and his mom get out and also pet the animals. It was us leading by example. When he saw us getting out there and doing it and having fun, he was motivated to do the same thing. And that is the #1 secret to duplication. When your team members see you duplicating, when they see you out producing results, they will be motivated to do the same thing. When you lead by example, when you inspire them with your own results. But if you sit back and you try to micromanage everybody and you try to tell them what they should be doing and guilt them into, going out and producing, it's never going to work. In fact, they're just going to leave your organization. So what you have to do is you just got to keep them around the campfire. And you never know when one person might take off. They might be a member of your organization for 6 months, a year, and then all of a sudden one day the bug hits them and they're like, man, I see all these other people around me going out and producing. I'm going to create success too. You never know when it's going to happen. So you just got to kind of keep them close to the campfire. You got to keep loving them, and you got to lead by example. So if you want your team members to produce, you go out and keep producing. I hope you got some value out of this video, and for those of you who have kids, think about the way that you motivate your kids to do things instead of the way that you convince your kids to do things, and I think you'll have, and utilize those strategies with your prospects, you'll have a whole lot more success in both recruiting and in duplicating. And by the way, if you are inside of network marketing and you would like to know my very simple 3-step process for recruiting people and building a business, and really what took me from struggle in 3 different companies over 15 years to finally seeing success in this industry, feel free to go over to successwithtyson.com and put in your name and email address and grab that, register for that free training, and I'll walk you through those 3 simple steps, and we'll help you on your way to becoming a top earner too. We'll see you guys on the next video. Take care. Bye.